hold up, I am on my way.
G'day friends, welcome to today's YouTube video. My name is James, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today I'm going to be going through my Christmas journal and I'm doing my PIP action, my picture in picture, just so I can have a chat with you and register some emotion on this face. And yeah, I'm going on holidays in about 10 days. I'm really wound down, all my client work is finished and sent out, so I really am I'm only doing personal stuff. Actually, on that, I'm trying to make sure all my videos are filmed and scheduled before I leave for Australia. So in the next week, I'm going to try and do all of that. It's still my goal to put up a video every Friday. I'm hoping that happens. I'm really going to try my best to make that happen. Again, I don't want to promise anything, and I hope I haven't promised it already. I just really don't realistically know how much I'm going to be able to do. I think I should be able to do it. I have all the ideas for the videos, but at this present time, and I'm gonna go through all of this, I'm trying to cram in all of Christmas with Steve before I go, and then I'll be doing all of Christmas with my family when I get there, but I've been running about in between ever since trying to do all of that, so I don't really know how much time I'm gonna have. I think I should be fine, but just a disclaimer, I'm so sorry if for some reason there is a video or two missing from a Friday. It's gonna be my goal to do that. So, all of that said, this is a bit of a clip show between the few different days that I've been working on my journal. This is a Job's Journal insert. I love it. It's pre-decorated, so it's been a real lifesaver as far as kind of being able to put everything in there and have it look really fun, because I just didn't have enough time to kind of pre-decorate my own, nor did I really have the desire to, let's be honest. I've been doing a lot of journaling this year, and I think right at the end I wanted to just wind down. I'm going to use this up until I leave, and then I'm going to do Australia as a travel journal. So this is technically my Christmas up until the 20th. I may or may not add Australian Christmas in here as well, but I want to do Australia as its own travel journal, like I did for my Memory to Memento course with my trip to Japan with Stella. I want to do like a big old travel journal like that. So when I'm at home, I'm going to be collecting lots of ephemera, lots of brochures, stickers, catalogs, anything that's not nailed down to a desk at a business I'll be taking. And yeah, we should make a big, beautiful Australian travel journal. I don't have an Australian one. It's funny to me though, because I mean, I am Australian, why would I make a travel journal from my own home? But now I do travel to home, so technically it is one of my destinations. So I'll be doing that. Anyway, let's go through this. I'm just gonna hit points as we go through. A few things that I have done that aren't in here, I'll just mention it. I saw West Side Story with Stella and Steve last night, and it was incredible. Steven Spielberg, amazing my coffee's repeating on me. Cinematography, loved it, loved it, loved it. And yeah, really stunning. Go see it. If you're anything into musicals, I didn't know the story of West Side Story before I saw it, so I was kind of going in a bit blind. But if you love West Side Story, you'll love it. If you love musicals, you'll love it. If you're not into any of those things, I'm not quite sure if you'll like it, but if you appreciate cinematography, you'll love it. It's a really, really good film. So that was in there. We saw Disney on Ice the other day, which I love. I've seen Disney on Ice since I was a teenager, maybe even younger than that actually, probably since I was a child. But when I was a teenager, I would see it every year for my birthday, because it would travel through Australia around that time. Even on my 18th birthday, I went to Disney on Ice, then I went clubbing out afterwards. So I'm a big Disney on Ice freak. I love it. I used to want to be a figure skater. So yeah, we went and saw that, and it was super fun. Loved that as well. We are going to the Nutcracker. I've never seen the Nutcracker. I've seen it on telly, but I've never been to the ballet. I don't think, unless I went when I was a kid and I don't remember it, but I've never actually seen a full ballet at the theater. So I'm dead excited for that as well, and that should be a great time. I'm also doing my Christmas shopping. I'm so behind in it. As far as going to Australia, I do believe I have to quarantine for 72 hours now, and so my plan was to actually buy a lot of my family's Christmas presents in Australia, especially like for my sister's family, who are doing Christmas at her house. And now that I'm going to be quarantined, I'll be quarantined up until Christmas Day, so literally no purchasing anything until I get there and like have Christmas. So I'm a little stressed out trying to find Christmas presents that will arrive within the next week that I can wrap up and put in my suitcase. The flights were insanely expensive. I don't know what I thought I was expecting. I don't know if I anticipated anyone to really be traveling, because there are still pretty harsh restrictions on who can enter the country and how. So it was a bit bizarre to me, but I've been saving my miles on my credit card, so I did manage to get what was an insanely expensive flight down to a relatively expensive flight, which was Still expensive, but totally worth it. And I didn't really go, and I haven't seen my family for 2 years. So technically I can pretend like it was just those 2 years added up into this. I was looking at something that just reminded me of something else. Oh, we made Steve's portfolio for 2021, which was so fun. Lots of formatting. That was actually good. It is super impressive. I can't wait. I think I'm gonna get Steve to film a flip through so he can show you. I'm gonna put it on this channel. I did that last time as well. Steve is such a great photographer. He's learning so much and his skills have gotten so much better. So I'm really excited for him to show you kind of what he's been learning throughout the past year, and to have a physical book to flip through, I think is so much easier than flashing photos on the screen. So yeah, I want him to do that for you as well. And that is exciting. That should be coming soon. I think that's everything I had to say of the stuff that's happening. Let's get into this. I'm going to hit some points. Some of it I've already talked about, so we don't need to go into too much detail, but I have a magic key for Disneyland, which is like their annual pass. So I have a bunch of Disney days in here. Just Disneyland, going to see the parade. Hasn't changed in 500 years. Actually, I think they took out the boys who ski, like the skiing men's unit that usually go with the skating snowflakes. And I think they've been separated for social distancing, like choreography wise, but it's the same Christmas fantasy parade you've already seen. So I don't think it changed much, but yeah, that's why I wanted to go in there. I wanted to see the parade because I love a good dance moment, and I wanted to see Steve doing his singing. So I saw that, and we went to Merriest Nights. That was hilarious just to see the Muppets. I love Miss Piggy, and that did not disappoint. I wish it would have been longer, honestly. The whole night itself, but I would have had more Muppets. I could have done with lots more Muppets. And that's good. We've talked about those things, so I don't think we need to go into too much detail. I've got a lot of Savannah in here, our new niece. She was born on July 4th, so we call her America's baby, but she is very Australian. And she is so cute. Look at her. I can't get enough. I'm going to meet her for the first time literally when I go home. So that's going to be really exciting. She's at that age where she's starting to chat. She can't really say any words, but she's getting really vocal. It was really funny. My sister was FaceTiming. It's my sister's daughter. This is Elijah's sister. My sister is their mother. Savannah's brother is Elijah. Have I just made that really confusing? Don't worry about it. And what's even funnier is my sister's name is Siobhan, and we called her Savannah when she was growing up. So even that's more confusing for me. But Savannah, I saw her, my sister was FaceTiming me, and I saw her throw her first tantrum. I'm not sure if it was her first, but it was the first one I saw, and I was shocked. For a girl that can't even speak, she had the body English down. And this is where I think genetics is such a funny thing, because I remember my sister at that age. Like, I was Elijah's age when my sister was born. So it's funny to see their dynamic together, because technically that was my sister and me. Now we're just seeing the next generation of it. But I remember my sister, and some things, they're just too young to know what their behavior is, and the fact that it is exactly the same way that Siobhan was when she was a baby and when she was a toddler. Like, I said this before about how Elijah threw tantrums. I was like, that is Siobhan all over. It's funny to me that something like tantrum throwing could be genetic, like the exact same way that they do it. And I don't think it was coincidence, because it's a very specific type of tantrum. But anyway, it's funny to see Savannah develop some of that, because we only have we have 2 nieces on my stepbrother's side, but everyone else is nephews, like all nephews, got tons and tons of nephews. So this is, it's always interesting to add a little girl to the mix, because I feel like, I don't know, it's just different. And she's a little doll. She's a little dolly. I'm going to dress her up like a little dolly, like I did with my sister. She's going to hate it. I actually laugh because my sister, when she was that age, had just a band of hair at the back, and she had little ringlets. And Savannah has only a band of hair at the front with the curls. So she's got a reverse mullet going on. I love it. I'm obsessed. Cat photos. The cats are being super territorial. The turf wars are at an all-time high. Bianca has all but claimed dominion over the Christmas tree and the 10 feet surrounding the Christmas tree. Oliver can't get close. She's all kinds of dramatic, up in the sunlight. Walked in the other day, walked in the house, and she's up in the sunlight, just like staring up into the sun. And then when the lights are on, she'll get under the tree and just look into the lights and have the lights reflect. She's very dramatic, very Steve. Oliver, just a mess, can't deal with anything, super naughty. What's new? Bianca still doesn't like Oliver. So yeah, nothing's changed on the cat front. I still love them both. We've got some stickers and some fun bits and pieces. Oh, gingerbread houses. I have a tradition to do gingerbread houses. If you're in Australia, you know the Aldi ones? You can get the house. They've got the gingerbread house with the people, and then they've got the train. We would just alternate. My sister and I would do it. They were terrible looking. Like we'd never managed to do it with any kind of grace and refinement, but we got it stuck together and they, for the most part, held. So that was kind of our only goal and our mission. And then when all the nieces and nephews came along, it was fun just to have them decorate and play along in the icing. But my mum found a good way to fix it. Just a free tip for anyone who has terrible gingerbread skills. A sieve and some icing sugar, just snowstorm the entire village and just fixes everything. It's my mum's favorite thing to do. So that is a little tradition that I tried to bring back here. We went to I think Albertsons or Vons or wherever it is, and got like a mini set of Christmas so we could all do like a little house, and yeah, just as tragic as before. I have no skill when it comes to cake decorating or sugar cookie decorating, none of it. I even did a Christmas, was it Christmas or Valentine's? I think it was Christmas. Steve took me a couple of years ago to the Japanese bakery to do a little decorating thing. I was shocking at it. Like, just bad. You wouldn't even think that I could draw or that I could paint or that I had any artistic inclination. Like, I was bad at it. I don't know where that comes from, because as far as I can recall, my mum said that one of her first jobs, she was to put sprinkles on cakes. So it's in the blood. I should be able to do it. Thanksgiving, that happened. The turkey happened. Never want to see a turkey again in my whole life. Just every year. We don't learn our lesson. We get the turkey and we think that we're going to have people around, and then it just never ends up working out because we're slack and we don't invite anybody. We end up with so much turkey. The cats love it though. I don't know if they're allowed to have it, but they do have it. Nothing's happened to them for years, so I'm sure they're allowed to have it. I got a new MacBook Pro. I got a new 14-inch, I think it's the 2021 version with the little chip inside of it. You could tell me anything. I would just buy whatever you told me to get, because I don't know anything about computers. I even tried to do a bit of research and I'm reading all these terms. I was like, I don't even know what this means. I'm just gonna go and ask for the best one. But I didn't want it too big. So anyway, I got that. It was a good chunk of change, but look, my Mac desktop is the one that I work at, and I still prefer working at that, but it needs more memory because it's 5 or 6 years old now and it's just running slow, and so I actually feel like it's costing me time, and time is money. So I mean, it is, but it's just not efficient to work at such a slow pace on that computer. So I had to get something. I also wanted something I could travel with, because at the moment I don't have a laptop I can travel with. I can travel with an iPad, but it's hard to do any desktop applications on an iPad. So this was kind of a necessary upgrade. My other laptop that I got is from 2012. So that's almost 10 years old. And at that point, it stays connected to this printer and I just do scanning with it. But they gave me a trade-in value. I went through all the thing, put the serial number in and everything, and it's got a bit of cosmetic damage, but nothing terrible, just a huge dent in the front from dropping it. And they gave me $15 for it. I was like, at this point, I think I'll just keep it. $15, like, cheapest hard drive you've ever had. So I'm gonna keep it attached to that printer. It still works, it's just slow. My Christmas card is in here. If you see it, which you will if you're watching the show that's going on, you didn't see it. You have never seen it. When it goes live on Instagram, that is the first time you've seen it. Do not say anything. I'm not taking the clips out. I did so much good work in those clips. I'm not taking them out. It was literally only sticking photos. But anyway, just pretend like that's the first time you've seen it. Steve and I, like, the other day he made me crop a photo on Instagram because you could kind of see some of the behind the scenes footage on it, and I was kind of leaking the idea and just teasing everyone with it because, you know, I can't keep a secret to save my life. And yeah, just pretend like when you see it and you will see it for the first time on Christmas, because it's different when you see it on Instagram and laid out like digitally and everything. So that's the first time you've seen it, not in my journal. And Steve doesn't watch these videos, so he's never gonna know unless someone tells him, in which case I will know it's one of you. But I don't know why you would tell him, because there's nothing to tell because you didn't see anything. So moving on, we have Cat in a Box. Oliver's literally in a box right now, so that fits, that tracks. And then we've got my sister's Christmas cards, which I love. She went to a tree farm, which I feel like is very on brand for my sister. My sister's very neutral. It's so funny, I've always wanted her to be like, I mean, she was my doll when she was born, and she was my little Barbie doll, so I was gonna dress her up, make her fancy, super pretty, all super, super girly. My sister is so neutral, so like, just so clean and fresh and plain Jane, and it's so funny to me. It's so funny to me because she now treats her daughter the same way. Like, she dresses her up all pretty, puts her in all the colors, all the patterns. She's just got enough of that backwards mullet to create little pigtails here. In fact, there's a little picture. I don't know if you can see it. So she's got her little mullet, backwards mullet pigtails. She put them in a bun. They were the tiniest little, like, oh, it didn't even look like the end of an eraser cap. They were so small. It was really cute. My mum and my nephew, Elijah Lulu, or as I like to call him, Elijah Louise, they did. Merry Mix Media sent me pictures. I'm going to collect their actual work and put it in my journal when I go home. I told my mum to save it for me. My movie list is in there. I got to add West Side Story into that. We also saw Single All the Way with Michael Urie. Is it on Netflix? Jennifer Coolidge is in it as well. There's tons of people in it, but I really liked it. Steve and I were annoyed, and it's the same annoyed you get with any Hallmark movie that's just giving you the storyline that you're like, oh, come on. So I liked it. I'm gonna say I really liked it, and I would totally watch. I mean, I did watch it again, and I will have it on in the background, but it was a little irritating. But I really like Michael Urie, and it really made me want to watch Ugly Betty. I thought him and Amanda in, I forget her name, but she's Amanda in the show, my favorite, and Vanessa Williams. I loved Ugly Betty. Actually, speaking of these movie lists, so we had Spencer and House of Gucci. I think I talked about that. Both Gaga and Kristen Spencer, like Kristen Stewart, amazing in their roles. The movies themselves are, like, you know, they're different types of critically acclaimed. House of Gucci got a bit of a bad rap. I didn't think it deserved that. I thought it was better than the write-up it got. But Spencer actually kind of got a better write-up than I would have probably thought people would have assumed from it, because it's not really a Diana biopic. It's kind of a story, and it's a really interesting take. I've never seen anything like it on Diana before, and I think that's what I was fascinated about. And Kristen Stewart did a really great job. Encanto, perfect. Disney, they don't get it wrong, do they? I really liked it. It's not one of my faves, but I did like it. I'd probably put it on again in the background. Speaking of background movies, these stickers in here, I don't know if I explained this, but Moira Rose and Kath and Kim, these are two of the movies, they're telemovie specials. The Kath and Kim Code, which is the Christmas TV movie for Kath and Kim, and Schitt's Creek, the holiday special. I don't know if it was a holiday special or it was just one of the episodes that was about Christmas, but both of those are constantly on in the background throughout our holiday season. That, The Family Stone, The Grinch, and what's the other one? White Christmas. Those are the ones that we just have playing non-stop. So to me, they're more than just like, I didn't put them in here because I'm like, oh, I just like that movie. They are just staples of my season. That is the background noise I exist with 24/7 as soon as that Christmas tree goes up. Maybe even a little bit before because I get excited, but love that. What else have I got in here? Oh, you saw my little envelope. You saw my envelope. I think I mentioned this before, but a lady I did a card making class with once said that if you're ever looking for pattern paper for free, check the inside of envelopes because there's tons of pattern paper in there. And then a Disney day where Steve just ate every ice cream treat available at both parks. I ate it too. My mugshots came in. I put that in there because I got my passport, thank goodness, after all that drama. Did I tell you about that drama? I'm going to leave you with that drama because that's everything in here. So I went and got my passport renewed a long time ago. It was about 8 weeks ago at this point. And they say it only takes 3 weeks. So, and there was nothing wrong with it. I could get it renewed. I was within the window. I did the thing. I had to go to LA. I had to go to the consulate. And it was really funny because it felt like stepping into a room of Australia because it was decorated with all the Commonwealth symbols and everything. It was funny. But I went. I had to pay all this money to get it, and there's a whole extra money you pay because you're not doing it in the country. And yeah, this was the reason I couldn't go to Italy with Steve for his birthday and do that photo shoot workshop, because my passport was expiring in October and I didn't have an extra 6 months on the passport. Sometimes when you go to different countries, you have to have 6 months past the date you leave before your passport expires. So even if I went, it would have still been fully fine to use my passport. I just didn't have 6 months beyond the end of the trip. So I went and got it renewed and they said 3 weeks tops, pay all this money, and then about 3 weeks in, I get a message that says, actually, we're having really bad delays with our processing, so it should take an extra 3 weeks from here. And if you're traveling within this time to this time, like out of the window, please send us your flight details. Well, at that point, I didn't have flight details that were inside the window because I'm not flying until the 20th. And so it got really confusing. And I was like, well, they say that I'm still within the window to get it when I need to get it. But then 3 weeks more passed and I was like, it's been 6 weeks now and I haven't even heard if it's been approved or not. So then I emailed them and they were like, oh yeah, it's been approved. You should be hearing from it soon. Cut to another couple of weeks and they finally gave me a tracking and they were like, here you go, here's your passport. But before that they said, well, if it comes down to the wire, you have to apply for a rush passport. And I was like, well, I did it the right way with a lot of extra time. Why would I then have to pay another $150 because you guys got the processing time wrong? Like, that's not my issue. You're the ones doing it late. Like, surely that's just something that maybe I've been here for too long because I do forget in Australia, like, it doesn't matter. You will pay for anything. But yeah, that's it. I didn't have to, so I don't need to complain or vent about it, but it was having me stress out a little bit because my family are the type of family that get to the airport like 6 hours early before the flight, so to not even have my passport a week out has been a lot. I also went and got my booster shot, so that's clear, that's done. I have to get my test, so please everyone, fingers crossed and prayers that everything goes smoothly there so I can get my test and go on a plane. I'll be quarantining at my sister's house for 3 days, I think, which will lead me right up until Christmas Day. So it's gonna be a little weird having my mum's hosting Christmas Eve. So it's gonna be weird having family gather at my mum's house and I won't be able to be there. But Christmas Day, I'll be free from quarantine. So I'll still see everyone, but I feel like that's gonna be really hard to know that my whole family are just like 20 minutes down the road and I won't be able to be there. But it does beat the hotel 2-week quarantine that has been my only other option, and the expensive flight to get to that was just not worth it. Like, we're talking at $3,000 flights, like US. This is the most I will have ever paid for a flight anywhere. Like, that's a lot of money. I feel like the flights are usually $1,100. And I didn't want to do any stops. You can get cheaper ones. I know someone's going to be like, oh, I saw a cheaper one. You can, but I don't want to do any stops. So I had to do non-stop. I am traveling a little close to Christmas, so maybe that was my issue, but I thought it was only fair to kind of split Christmas between Steve and my family since Steve isn't going. But yeah, anyway, why am I discussing all of this? Just chatting to you, like, or you can know all my my travel plans. Anyway, it's fine. I've been having a great time stuffing Christmas all into the first 20 days of December. We should have put our Christmas tree up earlier because honestly, I can't believe it's almost here. Like, I'm leaving that Christmas tree up. I know I've said this, we've been on a journey ever since I started this YouTube channel. I feel like the thing that I changed my mind on the most is Christmas Day is the last day of Christmas. I've been pushing it back and I'm like, oh, Boxing Day is the last day of Christmas, or maybe January 1st is the last day of Christmas. Now I think we do Christmas up until Steve does it at Disneyland, which is what, the 6th or the 9th? Which means I won't come home to Christmas, pending Steve actually packs it up, which he was complaining about the other day, so I think he is planning on doing that. Anyway, don't tell him I told you that, and don't tell him I put that Christmas card in here. No one saw nothing, you hear? Alright, I'm gonna leave you. 23 minutes. I think the video is only 15 minutes long. Imagine it was just a black screen this whole time. I'm gonna have to slow down some of the footage, put it at a snail's pace. Alright, that's it from me. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you again next Friday for another. Actually, no, Page in 10 videos have been going up. Thanks for sharing those on Instagram as well. I've been enjoying seeing your festive Page in 10s. There are tons of videos up there now. What is it, like 30? I might be lying. I don't know, 25 at least. Anyway, I've been having fun seeing that, so go check out those videos if you haven't. And also check out the Art Snacks videos. They still happen. Check out everything. I'll see you another time. Bye.